Hi guys, it's John here, and this is a review of the Ulefone Tab W10. Now, this is the first tablet I've reviewed for under £100. It's currently retailing at about £99, so that's pretty ridiculous really. That is also around $99 in the US. So let's go over the device and see whether this might be for you. So what are you getting for your £99? Well, inside you get a 10-watt charger, you get your warranty details and a USB-A to USB-C cable, and of course you get the tablet itself. So this is a 10.1-inch HD Plus display, runs at 60 Hz with a resolution of 800 by 1280. We have the Unisoc T606 CPU, and that comes with the Mali G57 MC2 GPU, so your standard sort of low-end processor inside. We do get 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of UFS 2.2 storage, and it does support microSD up to 1 TB. On the front of the tablet we do get a 5 megapixel camera here, and on the back you get an 8 megapixel sensor with an LED flash. We do have a dual stereo speaker setup here, and inside here we are powered by a 6600 milliamp hour battery. So you can expect to get about 20 hours of video playback. Now we do only get Wi-Fi 5 GHz support, we don't get Wi-Fi 6 sadly, but it's £100, so what are you expecting? We are also running the latest Android 14, so this is really pretty impressive for such a low price. So just looking around the device itself, we can see here on the left hand side we have the power and the volume rocker here. We also get a little reset all button here in case you need to do a hard reset of the device. On the top corner here we can see we do have a 3.5mm headphone jack. We get a USB-C charging and data port, and we have our microSD slot here. As we mentioned earlier, that supports up to 1 TB. On the bottom of the device we have the microphone. This is a very light tablet as well. It weighs around 430 grams, and as you can see it is pretty thin as well, so some really nice design here with a sort of aluminium body. It does indeed come with a built-in screen protector, as you can see here. There's no notification LED. So yeah, this is it, and I've been playing around with this now for the last week and a half that I've had it, and it's run really well actually. I've been really impressed with the fact that £100 nowadays can get you a huge screen which can fulfill your needs for media consumption. I say media consumption because although you can play games on it, it's not going to run them at the best with that T606, but that is to be expected. Obviously, this is really just going to be for video and browsing the web. Now, of course, you can use cloud gaming, and we'll go through that later. Time codes in the description if you want to skip to any part, and I've also put an affiliate link in the description if you want to pick one of these up and support the channel. So the cameras on this device are what you'd expect. They are very cheap and they don't produce the best results for £100. So this isn't going to be one that you're going to take around with you on holiday to capture those really nice moments. And again, front facing camera works well enough for video calls and stuff, but you're not going to want to use this for anything like vlogging or anything because the quality of it is obviously quite poor, being that 5 megapixel sensor. But yeah, overall it's okay. We get 720p on the front at 30 FPS, and we get 1080p at 30 FPS on the back. I'll put a couple of samples in next, and we can see how they compare. Okay, so here we are with a quick video test on the W10, just at 1080p and 30 frames per second. As you can see here, it's okay, it does the job just about, but we do obviously just have that limit of 30 frames per second with some pretty slow focusing at times. Overall, not the worst, but certainly not the best. And here we are now on the front camera, and just seeing how well things fare here. It's okay for, like I say, for video calls and things, but you wouldn't want to use this for anything other than that. So that's the cameras done. Let's just test out the Wi-Fi and we'll see what sort of speeds we can get here. Okay, so you can see here the Wi-Fi is pretty good. It's only on a 5 GHz connection with a reasonable signal, but we're getting 147 down and 147 up on a 1 gig up and down connection. So yeah, not full speed, but not too bad really considering the price of the device. So just for context, my S24 Ultra here on a Wi-Fi 6 connection can get 345 down and 134 up. So yeah, about twice as fast on the download, but upload is actually about the same. So let's try with a direct connection over Ethernet, and we'll see how fast the port here can communicate. Okay, so you can see here we are now connected just via Ethernet, so we're going to do another test. So yeah, definitely an improvement, but I wouldn't say it's massively better. It is about twice as quick over Ethernet, but probably not worth worrying about unless you are playing maybe some cloud gaming. So let's have a look at how videos look on this device. Like I say, nice big 10.1-inch screen. So here we are, this is at full brightness. It's not the brightest display I've ever seen, but it is more than capable of displaying nice pictures here with some decent sound. It is a bit tinny, but overall it's not too bad.
First, like a person, not a broken broken gadget or computer or whatever. And not just about what's wrong with me. Most days I'd rather talk about literally anything else.
Nice and loud, but yeah, very tinny, not much bass at all in the speakers. Having the stereo speakers though is a bonus, definitely, whilst consuming content, but just bear in mind as well, you've got that 3.5mm headphone jack for the lag-free audio, which is going to sound much better, obviously, than the built-in speakers. So with YouTube, you can just go to the maximum of 1080p, which is to be expected, and it runs absolutely fine, no problems whatsoever. You get a nice viewing experience from this 10.1-inch screen. So how about browsing the web? Well, as you can see, it's pretty quick. You can't really complain at these speeds. Rendering the pages nice and fast. And like I said, as I've been using this over the last few weeks, I have found it's very, very quick. I was actually quite surprised. I was expecting more lag. For such a cheap device, the speed of this is really something that is quite impressive. So how about multitasking? So let's open up a couple of apps and see how it fares. We can obviously go into split screen view here, and then we can bring up a video, and still it is performing really nicely here. As you can see, still able to browse and do other things without it lagging or slowing down. So what if you want a couple of different social media apps on the go at the same time? Yes, you can indeed do so if you so wish. If you're that way inclined, you can scroll through both. So yeah, when you're doing things like this, the device gets very, very slightly warm here, but like I say, very, very slightly warm, around 29 degrees, which is nothing really when you're considering what it's actually doing. Let's test out the Wi-Fi again. This time we're going to be testing the gaming. So if you want to stream cloud games on this device, let's see how it fares. We'll start here with Boostroid. So yeah, working really nicely, no notable lag at all, so pretty good going here. We've got a latency of about 15 to 20 milliseconds. So let's move on to Xbox Remote Play now and see how that works. So you can see that streaming is working really well. Obviously I am on a local network, but yeah, no problems at all. A few glitches every now and again, but overall a really good experience for this £99 tablet. Right, now we're going to have a look at some native Android games just quickly, just to see how they fare. Obviously you're going to expect some very low quality graphics, but they are mostly playable, as you will soon see. So here we are in Genshin Impact, and as you'd expect, this is pretty choppy. We are running this on the very lowest settings possible to try and keep it as smooth as possible, but we are obviously still seeing definitely running at 30, dropping down below that at times when there's lots on the screen. So here we are in COD Mobile, and it's currently set to low and medium. We'll pop it up to high and see if we can get anything better. It's trying to get to 60. I would say it's not quite getting there, but yeah, it's still a very smooth experience and very playable on this tablet. Okay, here we are in PUBG, and as you would expect, we've got this set to smooth and high, which is the best really setup we can have for this, and it runs at about 30 FPS. Okay, so here we are in Asphalt. I've just set it to 30 FPS here as it was struggling a bit at 60, so let's see how we get on now. So yeah, certainly working okay at 30 FPS, 60 is too much of a push really. So that is my review of the W10 Tab from Ulefone, and for £100 you can't really go wrong. For media consumption at least. Gaming, you're going to get very low-end graphics at about 30 FPS, but yeah, streaming cloud gaming services or directly from your Xbox or just watching video content on this is absolutely fantastic. No problems whatsoever. So for a budget tablet for a child, or just one that you're not too worried about taking out and about and it getting a bit bumped and scratched, this is the perfect thing to put onto your list for Christmas, or even if you just want to treat yourself or something new. So let me know what your thoughts are down below of the W10. Like I say, $99, £100. This is not going to break the bank for this 10.1 inch Android 14 tablet. So thanks again for Ulefone for sending this out to me. Don't forget there's a link in the description if you want to pick one of these up and support the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.